Welcome to this week's edition of the Dakota Angler 2-Minute Fishing Report. Well, the Mother Nature temperature roller coaster continued this past week and weekend, and it continues on into this week, quite honestly. And we had quite a bit of rain in parts of eastern South Dakota, especially down the southeastern part, around the Sioux Falls area, 5 to 6 inches of rain on Saturday night and Sunday, and that definitely impacted the number of people that were able to get out and about and hit the water. But honestly, the fishing has been quite slow in some areas. It's starting to show signs of picking up a little bit and hopefully coming out of those dog days of summer, but this past week has been a little bit on the slow side. Up in the northeastern part of the state, the lakes that produce walleyes included Watt Bay, and that's probably one of the best locations right now other than Indian Springs. And then also Opitz, Stink, Bitter, Dry Lake by Clark produced a few walleyes, and Pius, Hazelton, Lynn, as well as Goose produced a few as well. Down the southeastern part of the state, the lakes that produced a few walleyes include Thompson, Dry Lake by Willow Lake, Whitewood, Sinai, Ponset, Island, Twin, and remember Twin is a trophy lake, and then also Lake Vermilion. The Missouri River, again, has slowed down quite a bit. A lot of people are fishing the deeper water, the trees down the Platte, Pickstown area. The guys are coming away with some decent-sized fish. Also up in the Mulbridge area, guys are doing quite well up there. Now, what are people doing to catch the walleyes this past week? Again, not much difference from the previous week. A lot of people are pulling crankbaits. You have the Salmo Hornets, the Boogie Shads, the Flicker Shads are the main crankbaits that a lot of people are pulling right now. Otherwise, a lot of people are covering a lot of water with bottom bouncers, with crawlers, either the two-hook crawler harness or the slow death, and it seems slow death seems to be working the best. And then also snap jigging is becoming more and more popular, and people are starting to do that this past week more and more. And then also people are throwing jigs and swim baits, if you can believe that, and actually coming away with some really nice fish by doing that. The panfish bite is starting to show signs of life again. As I mentioned last week, it's starting to take off a little bit more. If you went up, let's say in the northeastern part of the state, the lakes that produce perch included Watt Bay and Stink, as well as Big Stone. Big Stone, you could catch all the limits in the world of 7 to 8 inch perch, but they're on the small side as far as keeping is concerned. Other lakes include Pius, Dry Lake by Willow Lake, and also Dry Lake by Clark. Thompson, Sinai, Ponset all produced a few perch, and then also Twin and Island. The bluegill bite is there as well. The lakes that produce bluegill included Enemy Swim, Big Stone, Buffalo, Brant, Twin, as well as Henry by Scotland. Now, what are people doing to catch the panfish? Again, not much change from last week. A lot of people are using live baits such as the maggots and waxworms, and we have plenty on hand here at the store. And then as far as jigs are concerned, a lot of pilkies. Anything with a drop chain has been working really well, and then also the Castmaster. In this week's edition of Todd's Tackle Tips, we're going to continue talking about snap jigging, and the reason why is because some people asked some questions based upon last week's report, and it really dealt with what type of rod should I be using when I'm snap jigging. There's been a lot of debate about that through the years as snap jigging has gotten more and more popular. I think a lot of people first started off with a lot of 6-foot rods, and then it graduated to 6'6", and now it's gotten even up to 7'1" or 7'3" in some locations. I myself, and for most people, we use a 6'8" to 6'9" type of rod, medium to medium light action, but the main thing is to have a quick responding tip because you want that rod to give that bait that appearance of the bait fleeting the predator, fleeting the fish. So again, having that quick responding tip is very critical. Some of the more popular rods that we've sold here this year and last year, the Elliott rods have been very popular, made popular by Tom Boley, of course, and many people have watched him. This here is a 6'9" medium, extra fast tip. Again, highly recommend that. We have a couple on hand here at the store. Another one that just came out this year, and St. Croix has changed their Icon series rods to make them more specific to walleye type of presentations. This one here is a snap jigging rod. This one is a 6'9" medium, extra fast tip. Again, both of these rods will do the trick. And there's a number of other rods that we have on hand as well. You don't need to buy an Elliott or a St. Croix rod, even though that these rods will last you an awfully long time and you'll have a lot of years of enjoyment out of them. But the main thing is that, again, you want to have a fast to extra fast tip. Lengthwise, I think the longer the rod, the 6'8" or longer, will give you a little bit more of a snap to the rod to make it a little bit easier to give it that motion that we've been talking about, to snap it back towards you, snap that bait towards you. So that's what I would recommend. Even some people have a 7'3" rod. The problem with that is that you may not have the rod storage to keep that rod protected. So keep that in mind. So the main thing is match the rod up to what you would like it to do. Stop in here and take a look at all the different options that we have, such as the St. Croix rod, the Elliott rods, the Fenwick rods are also, and the Shimano rods, all different types of rods that you can use to fit your budget, but still do the snap jigging that you want to do this summer. So stop on by here at the store. We're more than happy to help you out. And now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. Well, folks, here's your chance to brag. If you'd like to have your photo included in next week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, please send it to me. Send it to Todd at DakotaAngler.com or post it to our Facebook wall. Well, some people say it's never too early to talk about ice fishing, and so before we end this week's report, I want to remind you to mark your calendars for the 14th annual, and I can't believe it's 14 already, the 14th annual Dakota Angler Ice Institute here in Sioux Falls at the Sioux Falls Arena and Convention Center, November 11th through the 13th. Again, November 11th through the 13th. It's one of the best ice fishing shows around, and it's the second largest ice fishing show of its kind in the nation. So you want to be there, folks. So again, mark your calendar. Well, folks, that's this week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report. For Dakota Angler, I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next week, and again, thanks for watching. Stay healthy, and folks, stay safe.